Welcome to Coder Conversations. This is Kevin.
This is TC, man. How you doing?
Yeah, been all right, man. How you been?
I've been good. I've been good. I'm not gonna lie. These past couple of weeks, I've been pretty swamped as far as like side gigs and keeping up with like my main job. But
Mm,
I'm coming out. I think I'm coming out of that dark tunnel. I don't know if you've ever been there, where it's like just crunch, 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 and
yeah,
uh,
yeah,
and it doesn't feel like you're. Well, for me, this is new for me. Where like it doesn't feel like it's ever gonna end.
yeah, yeah. I've been
Yeah.
kind of like taking a break from a bunch of studying, man. Trying to, I don't want to burn out, So I've
Yeah.
been like doing a lot of gaming.
Yeah, I've been on
Pretty, pretty good month of gaming, man. Pretty good few months actually.
yeah. I've been stuck on Elden Ring since it came out. Was it last week, week before?
Yeah, yeah.
Um, yeah, like I go on Steam and it's all I see is just Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring, Elden Ring. And
So were you ever like a fan of Dark Souls or not really?
I played Sekiro, but I didn't play any of the other Elden. I didn't play any of the other Dark Souls
Mm,
games. Um, like Dark Souls 1, 2, and 3 or whatever. I was thinking about getting them on PC, but
yeah.
like going back and like looking at them, like they don't look as good as
Mm,
Elden Ring. I don't. Maybe it's just I'm not looking at the right ones, or I'm comparing not Dark Souls, Demon Souls, because I was
mm.
trying to start like from the beginning and looking at Demon Souls and looking at like Sekiro or um, Elden Ring. It's like night and day. Like
Yeah, yeah. It's just gonna take like if you decide to go back, it'll take a little getting used to. But I think Dark Souls one that's my favorite out of that trilogy. But it's kind of dated, so I don't know if you'll really like it. Is Elden Ring as good as you thought it was gonna be?
Um, I didn't really follow up like that. I kind of just like saw the hype and I kind of just like
Mm,
jumped into it. But it's great, man. Like I'm having a lot of fun just like exploring and just it's nothing like Sekiro. Um,
mhm.
like that being my only like from software game that I beat. Like I'm having a lot of fun with it. Like just running around exploring. Obviously, the system is way different than Sekiro. Like with
Yeah,
like you're able to upgrade like everything, your
yeah. It's
magic,
like
your health, not your health, everything. Yeah,
yeah, it's way more stats based. Like Sekiro is more action based. Like here, if you don't carefully
Mhm.
distribute your points, you'll be kind of messed up.
Yeah. That's what I'm kind of feeling that where it's like I'm trying to evenly distribute everything, and
Oh yeah.
I feel like I wasted levels. I
Mm,
wasted like runes on like leveling the wrong stuff. Um, because I would get like magic stuff, and I can't use magic because I'm like
yeah.
focusing on strength. And so I was like, oh, I'll just buff my magic to try and get me to the point where I can use uh, like the wands and stuff. But then I realized like I don't think you're supposed to play like that. I think you're supposed to just like have one specific thing that you want to like max out and go for that.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I think they let you respec like after the second boss or whatever, the second major boss. So you should be fine. You know how they
Right.
got Margit, and then there's the other general. Like I think his name is Radon or something. He's in the
Godric.
yeah, yeah, Godric, and then there's like Radon. He's in that red world where you fight
Oh,
Commander Neil. He's like somewhere around there.
okay. Yeah, I'll have to. I've been running away from like a lot of like bosses that do like effects. And just something I like about this game is if I get caught in a boss or a section that I somewhere else. Um,
So like,
I feel like that's
what weapon have you been using?
the longsword and the mace. Those have been my two weapons, and a bow. I had to get a bow,
Yeah, yeah.
just because I've been trying to like run up to stuff and like hit it, and they'll like fly away or they'll run away, and it's like
Mm.
dude, like what do you expect me to do? Like I have to run after you, and then when I run up to you, I lose all my dexterity, so I can't hit you, and then you run away again.
Like, what kind of bow you got? The short bow or the long bow?
Uh, there's a long. I think I got the long bow. Whatever bow you get in the Lucerna mines or whatever
Mm.
wells. There's a bow in that area that I got,
Okay.
and it's been pretty good to me so far. Yeah, I've just been I've just been exploring, man. The game is so huge. Like, I was just spending
Yeah,
like
yeah.
an hour a day just running around.
I think it's got to be at least 100 hours because I'm already at like 70, and I've only like took out one of the generals, and there's like five of them. So yes,
Yeah, I'm trying not to look up too much stuff, but it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to like
yeah,
ignore it. Yeah,
yeah. I'm kind of at
it's
the point to where
especially.
like I'll go ahead.
No, go ahead, go ahead.
I was just saying I'm at the point to like where I feel like I've pretty much ran to found everything I can on my own, and now it's like where do I go?
Yeah, yeah, that's exactly what I'm saying. It's like it's kind of hard to avoid it uh, when like if you look up one thing, then like YouTube algorithm will be like, oh, this is popular, and you looked it up. You must want to see
Yeah, see
this
more.
video or that video. Yeah, yeah,
Is
man.
that the
It's crazy.
is that the only game you've been playing, or have you been looking at anything else?
Uh, I've been messing around with mostly been Elden Ring these days.
Hmm.
Last game I beat before that was God of War. That was a really good game. Like that was really good. Like it's making me consider getting a PS5 for the new one that's going to come out.
Yeah.
But I don't know if I'm gonna do that just for one game. Or is it on both? Is God of War
Uh, PC
on
and
PC?
PS5. I'm sure. I'm
No,
sure.
the
Well, it's not on Xbox.
Ragnarok. No.
I know
Um,
Ragnarok is probably gonna. I don't know if it's gonna come on PS4. It looked pretty similar to five, so I don't see why they wouldn't release it on PS4.
yeah, it's on PS4 also. All right, yeah, I'm considering getting a PS4
Okay. You
just for
can't
Ragnarok.
find a PS5 anywhere.
Nah, not unless you scalp it, and even then, it's like it ain't worth it. There's just no
Nah,
games out right now.
I had like one opportunity to buy it. Like Sony, they send you the emails and say, okay, you hit the random lotto, you can get one.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, decided not to get it at the time, man. Could have
Mm,
haven't come across one since. But
yeah,
that's the chip shortage thing is crazy, man. I don't think it's gonna get any better either.
I don't think so either. I heard that GPUs actually the GPU shortage, not GPU, yeah, like not shortage, but GPU prices are going down. That's what I heard. I don't know if you've
Not
heard of that.
here.
Yeah, but it's only about like a couple dollars, like
Is
20 or 50
supply
bucks a month.
increasing, or like is it easier to find them now, or
Um, I don't know.
hmm.
It's just something that I came across on Reddit where they were like, "Oh my gosh, people are saying that the GPUs are coming back into stock," and I'm like, "Wow, really? No way." Then
Yeah, man.
we'll see.
Yeah,
We'll see when it
I don't
actually
know,
drops.
man. I think them scalpers, they'll still buy up everything. So unless you want to get one, you got to be ready to either stay in front of your computer all night or pay extra.
Yeah, yeah. It's I like to think about like, is it worth it?
To me, not really.
Like, is it worth it getting like the hot new thing, right? Like I think of back in the day when I had a Nintendo 64, right? And my friends they had PlayStations, it's not like I didn't. Did I want one? Like, oh my god, yeah, sure, that'd be sick. You know, CD games and
Mhm.
Tekken 2 and Tekken 3 came out, and Spyro and all that stuff. But it's like when I went home, I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
And as a kid, you're just like, I got my Nintendo, I got Super Mario 64 and Star Fox and whatever else. Donkey Kong 64, like, but I'm not tripping over somebody else or what they have, you know.
Yeah.
Um, and
Yeah.
I think nowadays it's like I think people want to have like at least personally, I don't know where I got it from. Where it's like you want to have the hottest newest thing that's out there, or
Mm.
you know what I mean? Like where does that come from?
I mean, I guess it's just like marketing. Like, if you don't have this, you're missing out on something. Where what are you missing out on? Like maybe better frame rates, or you know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
games already
Yeah,
look so good. Like how much better do you really need to make them look? Like I think
right,
a good time to buy
exactly.
a GPU
Like
would be if
the trailer's
you
only gonna look so good, and then like
exactly. Yeah, I think yeah, you kind of cutting out. Let me see. Hello.
yeah,
There you
you were cutting out too. Whole yeah,
go. Okay. Yeah,
you
you're
got me.
back. Yeah, yeah. But yeah, that's with a lot of things. Like, do you really need the latest phone? Do you need the latest this, that? A lot of the times you just buying stuff just because you're bored. That's pretty much it. Like, man, why not get a new GPU?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
now more than ever, you got to be smart with your money though, because the price of everything's been just like going through the roof. Isn't
yeah,
it gas
yeah,
like
man.
$6 or $7 your way?
My God, I was driving the other day and it was like $6, like 5.40, 5.50, almost $6 a gallon. And it's like,
Yeah, that's
what
insane, man.
is happening?
And it's just gonna go even higher once that war really kicks off, like continues to kick off. Oh, man, it's a good thing you never got a sports car.
Yeah, exactly. Like I see some people, they just ripping and running down the street, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
can't,
right.
I
Like my
can't.
Camaro staying in the garage, man. Like it's a gas guzzler. Plus you need premium, man. So
Oh,
you know,
man, that's crazy. That's crazy. Yeah, but like, what's going on over there, man? Like, I've seen so many different things. Like, um, I heard that they were sending kids out to war. Like
hmm,
they signed up kids thinking that they were going to go to boot camp, but they actually got sent over to Ukraine or whatever. And it's like,
yeah, it's crazy. I heard like they
it's
wouldn't let like the African or Indian students like leave, to cross over to Poland. I think they
really,
wanted to make them fight. Like, they were trying to flee Ukraine since the war was going on over there, but they kind of blocked them.
wow,
And man, it's
that's
crazy,
crazy.
man. Like these the 2020s have been like just like weird. You know what I mean? Just
Yeah, it's just getting
COVID.
started.
Exactly.
It's just getting started.
Man,
Yeah, man.
the
Yeah,
thing about gas prices going through the roof like that, it affects everything though, because you got to pay for shipping everything. So
yep, yeah. Everything's gonna go up just because of one thing goes up. Everything goes up to try and compensate.
I'm
But it
surprised. Like,
hurts it.
oh, go ahead.
But
No, I was just saying that I'm surprised they never like thought of like a more balanced energy distribution. Like let's use more solar. Let's use more of this, more of that. Like
you can't
how
make
are
money off.
we? It's crazy, So we're just so focused on oil and stuff like that. It's like you have a situation like this, everybody's
Yep.
completely screwed.
Yeah, that's the thing. You can't make money off of I mean, I won't say you can't make money off of it. I feel like the reason why, and I feel like the reason why we don't switch from fossil to solar is because if that was the case, then what would you do with all the oil, right? Like if we switched all the oil tycoons and all those big businesses that rely on oil to make money, how do they make money, right?
Yeah,
They've been doing this for so long. If you switch that, what do you do? It's almost like going from one code base, right, that's completely written in like Java and switching it over to React. What do you do with
right.
all the Java developers that you guys have on staff? Do you just fire them or do you make them all switch?
Yeah,
Right?
so you gotta make them switch. We can't let those guys hold back the entire economy, which they're doing. You know,
Right.
uh, but that's pretty much what's holding back the nation in a way. Like certain big sectors,
Yep.
uh, we don't want. They have enough power to keep us like in something that's essentially obsolete. Like we shouldn't
Yeah.
be this reliant on a dwindling power source.
Yep. Exactly. But a lot of people, at least from what I've seen, it's more about the short term um,
Yeah,
enjoyment. What can I do now? Yeah, yeah, yeah. But it's not hurting us now. And then like later, when things start to when shit starts to hit the fan, it's like you weren't worried about it way back when you were making money, but now it's like now you want to worry about it when all the things that you were being warned about start to happen. It's
yeah,
like
exactly. It's kind of.
it's
I feel sorry for the younger generation, man. They getting left a pretty bad futures. Like everything short term profits. Yeah, and the people in charge is kind of like, well, at least I won't be alive to
right.
experience it.
Yeah, I won't be alive. It doesn't matter to me. It's like, bruh, that's that's not the way to do it.
Yeah, how can you leave your kids a future like that?
Yeah, but well, I mean, they don't see. I think I'm not trying to speak in absolutes, but it's like if I was to be in that position and I had that mindset, the one thing that I could think that could be a positive is that I'm leaving my family with the money that because you can't take it with you, right? Like, okay, so if I was to be on top, be a CEO of this uh, oil conglomerate or whatever, and be making all this money, and I can't take it with me. If I'm on my deathbed, at least I can give my family, money. I guess that would
Hmm.
be the final thing, because
Yeah,
what else? I mean, yeah, business and money and the lifestyle. Um,
I
but
kind
that's
of think though, like, what's money's just a synthetic thing. Like, what's money realistically worth if outside is like Mad Max? You know what I mean? Like, I guess if you and your family, you got your family in an underground bunker or somewhere while the
it.
rest of the world going crazy. Like, did you hear about that? Like, a lot of the rich people, ultra rich, they're buying like underground bunkers.
I haven't heard of that. I wouldn't be surprised though.
I
You
think they're
know,
getting spooked because of that war with Russia. So, they say that could turn nuclear. So it's just crazy how like, it's like the video game is coming to life like Fallout.
yep, yep. It's like what's happening? You look up and you're like, all right, cool, 2022, yeah, we're here, and then it's like, oh
Yeah.
shit, 2022. Let's turn
Right.
back. Hold on, I want to go back.
It's kind of crazy. Like the middle class and the poor, like they have to deal with it. But, all the people with all the money, they probably got like huge underground cities and bunkers that they're just chilling in. Like,
Probably,
y'all deal with it.
probably. I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't be surprised.
Like, are you preparing for anything? Like, you stocking up on anything, or are you just gonna kind of let it come how it comes?
I have any stash of anything. I'm not super spooked or prepared for Fallout 76. I'm just kind of taking it one day at a time, and
Right.
uh, I'm prayerful that everything just kind of is the same when I put my head down to rest and wake up the next day.
Yeah. I've been, I got like water and stuff like that, but I don't have
Yeah,
like years supply of food. That's something that
right.
I wouldn't mind having, but with the price of everything shooting through the roof, how can you, really start
Yeah,
stocking up?
right. That's the thing. It's like everything's slowly rising, right? I didn't realize it until somebody had mentioned it. It's like the price of bread or the price of this has gone up, the price of that has gone up. It's like, wow,
Yeah.
I didn't realize that until somebody had mentioned it. Because like my grandpa had a saying where it was like the difference between cash and a card is that you can't see the money leaving you,
Yeah.
right? And like I'm so busy just like swiping my card when I check my balance at the end of the day or whatever. It's like, wow, I thought I had more than that. And you realize
Yeah.
that like Amazon's raising their prices, Netflix is raising their price,
Mm,
all these little things that are like nickel and diming us every day are all
yeah.
slowly raising their prices.
And they've been doing that throughout the years, and you don't really realize how much it is until like, wow, like I
Yeah.
remember Popeyes. They got the little 3 strip combo, they chicken strip combo that used to be like $5. Now you
Mm-hmm.
get it's like 10.
Yep. Yep.
So
And
prices
it
literally
becomes, yeah.
double. Yeah, but go ahead.
No, and it becomes, the thing is we don't realize it, but it's like you push that envelope, you push it and push it
Mhm.
and push it until you realize, okay, people, they're either A, not realizing, or B, they're just so comfortable with, like, okay, yeah, let me push it to $7 for a 3 piece. Okay, profits are up, nobody's
Mhm.
complaining. I'm gonna raise it up to $9. Profits are up, nobody's complaining. $10, profits are up, nobody's complaining. And until there's like a major backlash, they'll just
Yeah,
keep doing that.
exactly. And they always use like a catastrophe to push it up. Like it never comes back down. Like,
Yep.
oh, well,
Yep.
supply chain is limited. You got to raise the
Mm-hmm.
prices.
Yep. And
Man,
even if it was limited,
I feel like it got to be a collapse sometime soon, especially like real estate. Like, how are people? Like, I can't figure it out. Like, how are people surviving? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
we're lucky. We're blessed to be in tech to where we're making good money. But how's a person that's making like 40,000 a year or something? Like, how are they surviving?
Roommates.
Yeah,
Roommates. That's the only way I can think of it. It's you and a bunch of people splitting a home and using that to pay off your rent or whatever.
man, isn't it crazy how like growing up you would have never expected like to be in your 30s and having to have a roommate? Like, you know,
Yeah. I couldn't do it. I had a friend who wanted to be roommates, and I was like, man, I can't go back to that. Like growing up and
yeah,
being in school, and having a roommate in school is one thing because you're in school, but now like I have my own place, and it's like you have your own space,
yeah,
and once you have your own space, like man, you can't go back to sharing it with somebody. It just doesn't.
yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Man, it's crazy,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are kind of having to do that because it's like so expensive now.
Yep. I feel it. I feel it. Do whatever you can to survive. If you gotta get
Yeah,
a roommate, then get a roommate.
exactly, man. I be thinking like, how am I going to be able to afford a house though? The real estate crash has to come, man, because
Yeah.
I don't see how so many people have like 500,000 and above to, you know what I mean, to buy a
Mm.
house. How are they qualifying for these loans? Like that, mathematically it doesn't make sense. So
It's like, I mean, unless it's not just them, it's them and a bunch of other people.
you're right.
You know, like maybe that's my only theory.
Yeah, yeah. And like, what is the process like though of getting along with multiple people? Like that's gotta be kind of nerve wracking. Like, it's hard enough with roommates, but to have somebody that you have something with for the next 30 years, you know, like
Mhm.
what do
Oh
they
man,
just decide to
yeah.
bail?
You get another one, or within 30 years, you have a teenager and make them get a job. I
Like
don't
how
know.
does that work though? Like you know, like you got
What happened?
it's kind of weird to just
Yeah, that was
kick those both out.
yeah, that was weird. It's still going though.
Yeah, yeah, it's still recording,
Okay, well, it's all good.
but yeah, so you think you could live with like your sister for the next 10 years if you had to?
If I had to, yeah,
Yeah,
if I had to, yeah, I could. Oh man, 10 years, I would be 42.
yeah, it's crazy, man.
If I had to, like, yeah, but it would be like I would. When you say I have to, like I'm like there's no other way.
Yeah,
I think I can, but like again, like I would have to, like it would just like have to be like mission critical in order for me to do it.
man. Do you see yourself like moving to maybe like a smaller town in California or you?
Um, maybe, maybe like somewhere quieter. Like
Yeah,
I don't know where that place is, but definitely somewhere quieter. Like
was it like it's too busy up there, like in LA or?
uh, no, my girl was just telling me like like it would be nice to just have a quieter place.
Right.
Don't get because I mean I'm a I currently have a terrible example because I live next to a freeway, right?
Yeah.
And and you constantly hear cars like going by and stuff, and like so where I'm at right now is just a really bad. It's not bad. It's a nice area, but
Mhm.
the traffic is probably the worst part of it. So I'm just trying to find like a place, even if I have to move out of California, just trying to find a place that's just like quiet and where I can just live easy.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think like, do I really want to leave, you know, like Dallas or Austin and move to, you know, like a Waco or Killeen or something? I'm like, I don't know. Okay, I don't mind paying a little bit extra premium just to have access to stuff. Like,
Right. Yeah, that's my only gripe too. It's like uh like back when I was younger, my mom had a home out in was it in Paris, California? And
mm,
it was in the middle of nowhere. Like hey, I don't know if you ever seen like Curtis Carly Dog, but like when they talk about like living in the middle of nowhere, and it's like this home was just it was we had neighbors, but it wasn't like the city where there was like you like a neighborhood, and then you have a home, and you've got like a bunch of homes like next to you and stuff. It was like our home, another person's home, and then just nothing but just land.
yeah,
And it's
yeah.
like this is
I don't think
ridiculous.
I don't think I could do that. That country living is a little too much for me.
Yeah.
But you know, realistically though, like we just like the ability to be close to things. Like we don't, most of us don't necessarily even utilize most of it. Like, you know, what do
Yeah.
you do on a day to day basis? You're not like going to the carnival or museums every day. It's like,
No. No. Yeah. No, I hear you.
so
Yeah. It's. I think it's just when the occasion arises, you're able to
yeah,
just go, and I think that's the difference. It's like it's the accessibility factor,
mm,
right? Like if I need to go to a hospital, I can go to a hospital. If I
yeah,
need to go to the store for anything, I don't have to drive 30 minutes to go to a store,
yeah,
right? If I need to go to the mall for something, right? I'm able to go to a mall if I need to get my hair done, I can call up a hairdresser and make an appointment and be available. Like I don't need to make a trip out of it.
Yeah, yeah,
And and I think like that's really the convenience
yeah,
part of it. But I feel like what at least in LA, like the you're paying for the name just like with like with brand
yeah.
like
With the
like a
Gucci.
brand of milk or a brand of like of a t-shirt or whatever.
Yeah,
You're
yeah.
paying for that brand, and LA itself is a brand, and I feel like
Right.
the price of everything in LA is just like way too high when it comes to that.
So you feel like kind of like LA, the value is not necessarily there for the price. It's kind of like, okay, it's a Gucci T-shirt. Like, why is
Yeah,
this $100?
yeah, because you can get. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like LA is a, I guess you could consider it medium cost of living area, maybe high cost of living area. I don't know. I don't know. Depending on, it's probably depending on who you ask, right? But
Yeah.
like, I feel like you can live a low cost of living lifestyle. If that makes sense. Like as long
Mm.
as you don't get caught up in the glitz and the glam, and you just live within your means, you should be able to live in a city like LA and not have to worry about like uh, all of the extra. What's what I'm looking for? All of the like for lack of better words, the extra
Yeah.
stuff that they try to put on you, where it's like, oh, you gotta have I don't know, designer this, and
Yeah. Yeah.
uh, you gotta have this, and you gotta have that. It's like you don't need any of that,
Yeah.
and it, you know,
Yeah. It's kind
if
of like
it
one of my bigger mistakes, man. Buying, I've never been into like, like buying Gucci or Versace, but I bought like a
mhm,
ton of colognes. I bought the Camaro ain't the super expensive car, but it's
right,
like reasonably expensive. It's like I could have got something cheaper. Like I would tell people to save their money. Like don't get caught up trying to be flashy.
right.
Like do you really care, about a Gucci T-shirt when like after 3 or 4 wears it's already starting to fade?
As long as the brand doesn't fade, you're okay. Yeah, man. Yeah,
Man, I think
it's
my biggest mistake was not buying, like saving up and buying a house, man. I should have got one out here, like 5 years, 3 or 4 years ago or so.
yeah. That's my big thing of like that's one big thing. One big goal that I'm working towards is like having a home, right? And like I haven't looked too deep into the housing market, at least lately. Um, but just looking at like how much I'm gonna need for like a down payment, it's like, man, I should have started saving a long ass time ago.
Yeah, yeah.
Instead of
Well,
like,
you need like 100K or so at least.
yeah, something like that. 20% of whatever home I'm trying to get. Yeah,
Yeah,
it's ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous. I would say like for anybody that's listening, like if you have a goal that's like that you want to do, like plan it like 3 or 5 years out, and then just like work towards it like little by little, and then eventually you'll like it'll pay off. Yeah,
yeah.
'cause
That's kind of like the good thing about like this podcast. And we're kind of older. We can give advice to the younger people. Like, yeah, this is where we messed up. Don't make the same mistake.
yeah, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to recover, man. I'm trying to recover from my mistakes.
Yeah.
Um,
Did you ever have like your parents sit you down and be like, "Hey, you need to start saving money for a house"? Or yeah, but we kind of
yeah,
ignore it.
yeah, yeah. And you're just like, nah, I don't want that. I want to buy the newest Nintendo game, or I want to buy
Yeah,
this. I want to buy that. And it's like, oh my gosh, if you just go back in time and just like
yeah,
knock
yeah.
yourself upside the head. Yeah,
But yeah,
yeah,
what I'm saying. I think we still got an opportunity, man. If we can make this podcast jump off or whatever,
yeah.
it feels like you got to own a business to really be able to buy a house comfortably, or be working at like one of
Right.
the main companies or something.
Yeah,
Man, have you been interviewing lately, or you kind of put that on the back burner?
I took a break from that, but I had somebody else reach out to me, and she had a really, they had a really interesting approach. I don't know if it was a guy or a girl, but they had a really good approach where they would send me memes, like
Hmm.
in emails. I don't know if you ever had that, but
Hmm.
like they would send me memes, and I'm like, all right, that's interesting. I might reach out. I might, reply back to you. Um, but no, I kind of took a break from it just because,
Yeah,
like, with the side work that I'm doing, plus my main job, which is like picking up like actual like we're actually like ramping up and like work and stuff. I don't have time. Like,
yeah.
it's tough. It's tough to balance all that stuff. Oh, I don't know if I told you. So you remember Meredith, that one company that I did like for like I did all those interviews like for 5 hours or whatever, or seven
Hmm.
rounds or something.
Yeah, yeah.
They got or one of the guys that interviewed me when I reached out for feedback, he finally got back to me,
Hmm.
and he told me that I got rejected because I didn't use a modern for loop.
Like a four in or something, four
Yeah,
up.
like for of yeah,
Like, okay.
because I wrote an old school for loop, and he was like, "You got rejected because you didn't use a common for loop," and I was like, "Wow."
I think maybe they got so many applicants, they just need to find any reason to reject somebody. Like, but
Yeah, I mean, but he told me like, I was rooting for you and I was pushing for you, but like they couldn't get past the fact that you used a old school for loop, and I'm like,
but what does that
okay,
matter? The job
right,
done.
right, exactly. Um, but ever since then, I've stopped using them. Ever since then, I've stopped using old school for
Mm.
loops, and I'm
Yeah,
just
that's why I don't never get down on like failing the interview because you never know the real reason. Like you think
right.
it's something big, but it's just something small that you could never know ahead of time. Like
Yeah, yeah,
I didn't like how his glasses looked. Just something like nonsensical, and you still get
yeah,
rejected.
yeah, man.
It's just like a
I hear you.
numbers game.
Still, uh, when you put in that work and you're like, damn, really? A for loop?
Right.
Like,
Yeah.
like,
I did a couple of interviews, man, but I haven't heard anything back. Well, I failed one, and I haven't heard anything back from the others, and it's no
how long has
big
it
deal.
been?
It's been like a couple of weeks or so, so I'm guessing probably not.
Yeah, no, I don't think so. At that point, it's like,
Yeah,
because everywhere that I read or hear, they all say, if you got the job, it's like the next day or the
yeah,
following Monday or whatever that they offer you something.
yeah. If they really want you, they're not gonna sit around and wait.
Mm-hmm.
I thought the interview went good, but like you say, you never know. Like I'm pretty sure, like the one you went to the 7 rounds with, it went good. Like for the vast majority of the interview, but somebody
Yeah,
just X you because of the for loop. So
it is what it is, man. Like
yeah,
it just wasn't for me. I'm not gonna trip over it.
exactly. Like you just never take those interviews personal. Just like
Right.
you
Yep.
fail, whatever, move on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So are you trying to get a new gig
I
still?
mean, I wasn't trying, but like a lot of recruiters were hitting me up, and oh, this company is offering like
Mm-hmm.
185K or something like that. Well, why not try it out and see? I'll be stupid not to. So
Yeah.
if it's nothing like that, I'll just be like, nah, I'm good. I'm not like
Mm-hmm.
trying to leave, but if it's significantly better, I'm like I'll see what's up.
Why not? Okay.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm kind of burnt out though, man. I don't really feel like, like studying hard after work and all this. That's probably why I've been playing so many games.
Yeah. Yeah. And I feel you. It's like I could grind in Bloodborne. I mean, I can grind in Elden Ring, or I could grind algorithms. Like, you know what? Let me go explore some more
Yeah.
places in Elden Ring.
Right. But, yeah, after work, you be feeling kind of burnt out. Like, man, I don't really feel like doing any more coding, man. Like,
Nope. I don't want to think about code. I don't want to look at code. I don't want nothing. Yep.
and it's just like, inflation pretty much makes it to where, like, okay, say you get a 20K raise or something, you're pretty much where you were last year just because
Yep.
everything has shot up. So, like,
It just balances out. Yeah, exactly. It just balances it out. That's the worst part. It's like you get a raise and you're like, okay, cool. But then everything else raises up and you're like, oh, well, then nothing's changed. Everything's the
exactly.
same. Yeah. Yeah, man.
I was talking to Brian about that. We kind of like, man, like the raise that we get, none of it's really like life changing money.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It's pretty much you have a little bit extra you can sock away. You know what I mean? And that's it. You're still living the exact same, eating the same places, and
Yep.
driving the same kind of car. He started his own trucking business though. He's kind of
Oh,
doing a
really?
side hustle thing.
Nice. Is he
So
is he is he driving trucks himself, or he's like managing it?
he bought the truck and he's doing like the dispatching, but he has somebody else driving it. So like
That's
what the
cool.
dispatching is like, it's calling different companies for the loads and setting
Right, right,
everything.
right. Yeah, yeah. That's cool.
Yeah,
That's
man, I'm
cool.
proud of him for actually, like doing something entrepreneurial, man. Like just saying, like, man, it's, this ain't cutting it. Like salary ain't cutting it. I need to kind of break
Right.
out of that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wish I had an idea like that though. Like I just can't think of nothing that I would want to do on the side except like this podcast or
I
you know
would
what I
say
mean?
like I would say like when I was coming up with ideas, or brainstorming, like I would force myself, not for, well, initially, yes, you sort of have to push yourself um, to just write down ideas, right? Just and they don't even have to be like good solid ideas. Just write
Hmm.
down like an idea or like a couple ideas a day, and then just keep that list, right? And
Hmm.
then and then eventually you'll have like a bunch of little ideas, and then just sort of throw darts and be like, all right, well, that'd be interesting. Cool. Let's see. Am I really interested in that? Like, how would I do that? Like, if it's a startup or something, like, and
Could you see
then,
yourself being like a code mentor, like a coach or something?
whew, maybe,
Yeah.
maybe, but like honestly, I see myself going in a different direction eventually.
Hmm.
Like, there's only so much like code
Yeah. Yeah.
that
You
I would
can do.
that I could see myself like right
Yeah.
eventually. Like I'm gonna reach an apex or
Yeah.
whatever. Like I would want to break out and do other things, and and yeah, I'm not. I just don't see myself like working and living in the valley. Like I can't. I don't think I could hang.
Hmm.
It's not that I don't. It's not that I. Well, let me think. Let me rephrase that. I don't have that type of mentality to try and hang with those type of people.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think there's a specific type of person that that those type of jobs and that lifestyle
Yeah. Yeah.
attracts, and I just don't see that for myself. Like I feel like I'm heading into a point where like, you know what, I just want, like I said, an easy life where
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
it's like a stress free, like a 9 to 5,
Right. Right.
and like yeah, I can know all the stuff, but I'm not trying to make this like a lifestyle. Like it
Right. Yeah.
just
You don't want to be like a slave to the computer. Like
yeah
as soon as you get off work, what have you been doing? DS and algos. All you know what I mean? Like that's
yeah
all you do.
yeah yeah.
Yeah.
I
A
just
lot of
don't I
people
just
get.
don't want to do it.
Yeah, I'm kind of like getting burnt out on the whole industry, man. But that's why I'm playing games and doing other stuff because, like, it's you just it comes to a point where you feel like you're doing the same thing over and over, like slightly
Yeah.
different iterations of the
Mhm.
same thing.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
it's like,
And that's sort of where my head is at. It's like slightly different thing, but slight well same. Um, for me, I try to like keep track of like my notes and stuff, or like reference it for something in the future. I have a reference for it
Mm-hmm.
because I'm noticing that pattern of like do something, solve a problem. Okay, boom, move on. Boom, do something, solve a problem. Or like, hey, remember something we did a month ago or 2 weeks ago? Yeah, we need to take that and twist it up and put it over here. Okay, cool. So I'm trying to have my little toolkit of code snippets of stuff that I've done in the past, and it's been working out. It's been working out, but I do hit those points where like you know what you want to do,
Yeah.
and you know that's like okay, I want to do this, and I know I'm on the right path. What am I missing?
Right.
So
Right.
there's those days too.
Yeah,
And
man. I'm kind of just to the point where, like, you know, if I move up, it's like, well, what's really that different other than I'm making more money? You know what I mean? And the fact that inflation just puts you in the same, exact same spot as like you're kind of existing. You know what I mean? Like,
right,
yeah, I'm
yeah,
trying to get out of that, man. I want to like be to I want that freedom. I guess you know what I mean. Like, okay, I don't have to work today. I'm gonna
hmm
just take off and enjoy myself. Like I haven't taken a vacation in years, like a real vacation in years, because right now I'm a W-2 contractor, so we don't like really get days off. If you don't work, you don't get paid.
Oh, you're a contractor.
Yeah, like a W-2
Whoa,
contractor. Yeah. Have you ever been on contract?
I haven't.
Man,
Well, no, no. It was like it was a position or not.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
but
yeah,
they can
it's
let
not
you
fun,
go
man.
though.
What's that?
They can let you go at any time then.
Yeah, I mean they can. That wouldn't be a good idea. 'Cause I'm like, like right now I'm the only one working on this the front end of this project. So if I'm gone, this project pretty much coming to a halt.
Mm,
So, you know,
wow.
so I'm kind of like I don't know, I think like with all the extra stuff that's going on, it kind of like sapping my motivation. Like with the Russia, Ukraine, inflation,
Yeah,
it's like like when you save, you have to have the feeling that the future is going to be great and it's worth saving. You know what I mean?
right,
Whereas, like, if you feel like today is not going to be good tomorrow as it is today, you're kind of like, oh no, let me just go ahead and enjoy today. Like,
right. No, I feel you. It's like how do you have to you got to be in the right mindset to like be
yeah,
able to enjoy things now, and it's like or to be able to also like to also talk about a point that I want to make is this: you have to also be able to um, instead of looking at it in a black and white sense, like you know what, let me just turn my brain off for a second and disconnect, right? Because sometimes things can, like you say, things can be
yeah,
like scary, right? But how do you disconnect from that and just sort of give yourself that moment
yeah,
to to breathe, right? And I think a lot of people should learn that as well. It's like, especially like with in the tech industry, where
yeah,
people just want results. It
yeah,
can be stressful.
exactly.
You have
I
to
think
learn how to manage that stress.
a lot of people don't understand the tech industry. Like, you're under deadline, deadline, deadline. It's like you're solving puzzle, puzzle, puzzle,
Yeah,
and but you have like a little counter always going down. Like,
yeah,
like when
yeah,
you're on, it's like, okay, yeah, I got this. But then it's kind of like, man, this starts wearing you out.
yeah. You get tired mentally.
Yeah,
Mentally, it drains
exactly.
you. Yeah, man. I feel you. Yeah,
So I think that's
yeah,
pretty much why I've been like gaming so much. Like, let me find a way to,
yeah.
reinvigorate myself. Like,
That's your happy place. Like my girl always tells me, she's like, this is my happy place, and I didn't get it until like eventually, like, oh, it clicked in.
man, you cut out. The last thing I heard was, "This is your happy place." What did you say?
Center where you're not tripping over nothing. And I'm not saying you gotta like completely disconnect yourself, like because most
Yeah,
people, I feel like most people these days they use like a substance like alcohol or drugs or whatever
yeah, yeah.
to try and break away from reality. But like if you can find a way to break away from reality that doesn't rely on a substance, like it's so nice to be able to
Hmm.
just like, you know what, I need a moment to myself.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
like whether it's the gym or meditating or video games, like to have those little moments where you can recharge is like it feels great, man. I recommend anybody who's listening to really find that their happy place.
Yeah, that's a big thing about this industry, man. Like people, it was so hard for a lot of people to get in. They don't feel comfortable taking breaks. Like they're like, oh, if I don't keep studying, I'm a, fall out the industry. I'm gonna become obsolete. So it's like study, 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 work, work, work. And then they get
But
burnt out.
is there an obsolete, right? Like let's say for example, I stopped studying, right? I stopped studying or whatever. It doesn't prevent me from not having the knowledge that I have. It's just the knowledge that I have might not be as hot or relevant. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like I can still pivot to another Shopify store or whatever. I can still work on React stuff. I can still work on shoot. I could probably pick up Python again and mess
right,
around with that. But it's not like I feel like when people think that they're gonna be irrelevant, it's like you wake up tomorrow and you're at zero. It's like no, you're not. You're not at zero. I don't think it works that way.
right.
Um, but I do think that like to a point, the opportunities that you have might might decrease,
Yeah, they're
right?
not gonna be as
But
hot.
there's always going to be somebody that's looking for something
Yeah,
in one field or another.
yeah, man. At the end of the day, man, you gotta do what's best for your mental health, man.
Yeah,
Like, if you need to take time off, take it off. Like, at the end of the day, if you burn out, that's going to be way worse than you taking a couple of days off, because that's going to knock you out the industry completely.
yeah, definitely.
But yeah, man, we're kind of coming up on the hour, man. What do you
Yeah,
think? It's a good ending point.
yeah. Let's end it here. Let's end it here.
All right, we'll catch y'all later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.